Right. Brody, man, this may have been the best speech I have ever heard from you. And it started off with like, dude, you look sharp in a tie and suit. It gives that added level of professionalism, which really kind of draws you in. It's like, this guy's an expert and knows what he's talking about. But throughout, you had these exceptional hand gestures and body movements, which started right in the beginning. You had this abracadabra song, which I will not sing for you all, but it really helped introduce the topic. And then you closed with it. So it was like that nice sandwich in the beginning and the end to bring us right back to what your point is. And you also, from the very beginning, had nice, slow speech patterns, which actually emphasized as well what your topic was about, the power of words. And you added those pauses throughout for us to consume that information, which was from the very beginning, man, I was drawn. In past speeches, I'll be honest, sometimes you are very passionate about your topics and it gets so super technical, but that didn't happen at all in this speech. And I think most of that is because of how well organized your content was. So, layman people like me that are not really into this topic really, I walked away with so much great information and I would love to hear even more from you. The points, you started off with those 3 points that generalization deletes information, distorts information. You gave layman terms definition to these points and then examples to help really solidify that. Then you came in with that technical information or quotes from scholars. Even with the thalamus, you had your cool little brain there to help point to it to really give that visual of what you were talking about. And then at the very end, you finished up with how do we overcome all this? So you really had a nice way to give us what the issues were, how to solidify it, and it was delivered in a way that I can walk away from it. And I'm going to start doing it today. So throughout all of this, though, what really solidified it for me, and I absolutely loved, is from the beginning, you had excellent gestures and body movements coupled with the tonal changes to help really get that point across. From the beginning, you had this fast and you had a sweeping motion. You did grabbing to kind of pull you in. You had deleting information, and I don't even know if you did it, but you were talking about deleting information from your brain, and you were like this, so like you could like visually see things falling out of your brain. It was just great. And then at the end, when you were talking about emotion and adding that emotion to your word, your example it was great. It even made me laugh a little, like I'm really happy. And how emotion really adds to how you truly feel. And maybe if you're not adding that emotion, your point's just not properly getting across. The one thing I will say, I was able to find one thing that I would give you is to kind of push you a little, is part of your personal goal with this was to make sure that you are not looking, and I'm actually demonstrating what I'm going to say right now. You weren't using notes. And I may not have noticed it had we been in the room, but in here you did kind of think, it's almost that thinking motion of looking off to the left. So I don't know exactly, but it can kind of pull you away from the audience a bit if you're not staring at them like this. So, but overall, Brody, man, excellent speech and an exceptional message. And thank you so much for sharing with us today.